Okay, so question number 1, to begin with our mean. So mean, you need to add together the numbers that you're given in your list and divide them by how many numbers you've got. So you should have got a 7 for the first one. Median then, remember you need to order your numbers to begin with and then find the middle number. So cross out from either end until you hit the middle, which is 8. All the numbers appear the same number of times, so therefore there is no mode. Writing not applicable or 0 as your mode isn't really correct, so no mode for that one. And then the range is your largest value, take away your smallest, so you should have got a 7 there. Part B then, again, mean, add your numbers together, divide by how many numbers there are. So 6.25, you don't need to round at that point, leaving it as a decimal is fine. Again, ordering your numbers and finding the centre. So this time, because there's an even number of data, then our median is those two numbers there, which is both 6. So normally you'd find halfway between those two numbers, but that would just be 6 there. Mode here, we get 6 come up twice, everything else comes up once, so a mode of 6, and then a range, largest 12, take away smallest 2. Okay, so after 10 games, their mean score is 35. So to work out the mean here at the bottom, I've said that the mean is all the scores added together by the number of games they have played. So we know for the first bit of information we're given, we know that the mean is 35, and we know that the number of games they've played is 10. So we then know that whatever their scores added together are, divided by 10 gives me 35. So to get what their scores are added together, this question mark, I'm going to need to get rid of this divide by 10, so I'm going to times by 10. So that's why the first line of working up here is 10 times by 35. The second part of information I'm given in this second sentence then is that when there's 11 games, so now the number of games is 11, I don't know what the scores added together are, the mean is now 33. So again, I can work out this different question mark here by doing 33 times by 11, which is why I've done 33 times by 11 on the second. And then I just need to subtract my two answers there to get the difference between when I only had 10 scores and when I had 11 scores. So then my 11th game had 13 points in it. Okay, question number 3 then. We know that the mean for the boys is 18 and we know that there are 12 boys. So I want to first of all work out what all the boys' marks added together were, because I'm then going to need to do everybody's marks divided by all the people to work out the overall mean. So just looking at the boys then, we know the mean was 18. We don't know what all their scores added together were, and the number of boys is 12. So to work out what all the boys' scores added together were, I'm going to need to do 18 times by 12 to get this question mark. So this value here is my blue question mark. Now looking at the girls then, so I now know that there are 8 girls and their mean was 16.5. So 16.5 for their mean. So when I get all the girls' scores added together and I divide it by 8, I get a mean of 16.5. So to work out what all the girls' scores added together were, I need to get rid of the divide by 8, so I need to times by 8, which is why I've done 8 times by 16.5 here. So this is the purple question mark here. So all the boys' scores is 216, all the girls' scores is 132. So everybody in the class, everybody's scores together, I'm going to add those two together, which gives me this 348. I then need to divide that by how many people in the class there are in total, so that's the boys and the girls added together. So the total number of people is my 12 boys plus my 8 girls, so 20. So then you should have got a mean of 17.4. Okay, this next question then has 4 parts to it. Some information about men's mean, information about women's mean, information about children's mean, and then the information about mean for everybody added together. So we're going to look at the information we have to find out the missing part we need. So let's start filling in our information then. So we have 20 men, and then we want to work out the mean score for the men. Okay, so we want to work out the mean score for the men, so I don't know what that is. I need to get their total scores, which I'm not sure what their total scores is at the minute. I'm not given that in my information. Divide that by the number of men, which is 20. So now let's now go on and do a similar thing for the women. So for the women, I know there's 10 of them, and I know my mean score for the women is 15.6. So 15.6 is whatever the total scores added up for the women are, divided by 10. So I can now fill in this blank box here by timesing 15.6 by 10, which is what's happened up here. So that's 15.6 in there. So let's now have a look at the children. So for the children, I know there's 10 children, and the mean for the children is 9.2. So 9.2 is the mean, is the children's scores added together divided by how many children there are, so divided by 10. So again, to work out what's in this blank box here, to get rid of this divide by 10, I need to times by 10, so that's going to be 92, which is where this 92 here has come from. Then some more information that I know is about everybody altogether. So in total there are 40 people, and I know the mean for those is 11.2. So 11.2 is something divided by 40. So to get what needs to go in this blank box here, I need to do 11.2 times by 40, which is what's happened up here. So 448. So to be able to work out the mean for the men, I need to first of all be able to work out what needs to go in this blue section here. So I know the total score for everyone, and I know that for women and for children. So to get what I need for men, I need to do everybody, 448, take away the 92, take away the 156. So then we should end up with 200 here. So the final answer that I needed was this question mark here, which is now 200 divided by 20. So 200 divided by 20 is 10. Our method for finding median then, which you should have seen before, is n plus 1 divided by 2. This doesn't give us the median, it gives us what position the median information lies in. So n stands for how many pieces of data I have. So I'm told in the question that this information is about 45 games. So I'm going to do 45 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 46 divided by 2, which is 23. So the median isn't 23, it's the 23rd game in my list. So if you imagine what this information is telling us, it's telling us that the first 7 games scored 0. So if I was going to list my data out, I would write 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So far I'm at the 7th game. I need to keep going until I get to the 23rd game. So I've used up 7 so far. Then the next thing I do is I'd write down 1 14 times. So if I carried on doing that, I will have written down 21 pieces of data so far. So I'm now at game number 21. This would be game number 21, and I've written down just up to the end of the ones now. So the 22nd game would be a 2, and the 23rd game would also be a 2. So the 23rd game is a 2, which is why I've got a median of 2 there.